Hi, I'm John Arnold, and I want to welcome you to a video by 7 Minutes Incorporated. And in today's video, I'm kind of excited because I'm sharing with you some tips for maximizing one of my favorite 7-minute tools, and that's what we like to call a 5 before 11 list. It's a tool that is at the heart of the 7-Minute Life Daily Planner, but it's a tool that even if you don't use a planner, you'll be able to put it to work. Is the moment I'm done with this video, you'll be able to create a 5 before 11 list, and it will start multiplying your productivity on a daily basis. So what is a 5 before 11 list? If you're not familiar with it, it's just a list where you write down 5 high-value tasks that you want to achieve before 11 a.m. during the workday. Now, I know that doesn't sound very glamorous as a productivity tool, 5 high-value tasks before 11 a.m., but I would challenge you to put it to work for even just a week and see if it doesn't start making a difference in what you're getting done at the end of the day. Now, if you're going to make the most of that tool, though, I want to give you some do's and don'ts that I learned the hard way. And the first do that I would give you is you do want to put on your list tasks that are truly high-value tasks. And the way that you're going to know they're high-value tasks is they really should be things that directly reflect either your values, your purpose, action items that move you toward your goals, or they get rid of an unfinished task that's stressing you and robbing you of productivity. So those 4 things again are either the task is related to a value, your purpose, the accomplishment of one of your goals, or knocking out of the way an unfinished task. And if it is tied to one of those things, it is almost assuredly going to move you toward greater meaning in what you're doing, because those are the things that matter most to you. Alright, now when you go to pick an action that fulfills one of those things, I would really encourage you to spend a lot of time focusing on micro actions. Micro actions are simple actions. You might be able to do them in 7 minutes or less. For example, one of the things that I value and that I have some goals around is improving my physical health. So one day, as a 5 before 11 list, I put on my list that I needed to call the doctor and get myself set up for a physical checkup. I hadn't had a physical in years, and I went in and I found out in the process of getting that checkup that I had high cholesterol. So that little micro action of simply calling and setting up the appointment may have been a life-saving micro action over the long haul. So they don't have to be big, glamorous things that you put on your list. They just have to tie into your values, purpose, goals, and unfinished tasks. At work, it may be something as simple as I'm going to sit down and I'm going to call one of my best customers, one of my most important clients, and I'm going to find out what they like most about our service or something they think we should improve on. That kind of contact, you have no idea what that might mean in terms of building that relationship. It might be something as simple as writing 3 thank you notes that you need to write to people to show them that you value them. So those are some examples of micro actions. If you want to know more micro actions, you can go to the members tools area at 7minutelife.com, and you can actually download a list of 100 micro actions for work and 100 micro actions for home. That would be a really great place to start, and it would just be a matter of connecting what's on those lists up with things that are important to you and putting them to work. Okay, so the next tip that I want to share with you, because I want to keep this short, is don't populate your 5 before 11 list with stuff that's just urgent. And that was one of the mistakes I made when I first started using a 5 before 11 list. I would hit the office and it's like, oh, what do I have to get done? And I would start writing down all these things I had to get done, all right? They were urgent things weighing heavily on me. They may or may not really been very important. They may not have expressed my values or my goals. There were just things I felt pressure around. you know what, there'll be plenty of time after 11 to deal with those things. Make sure that what you put on your 5 before 11 list are things that are really important to you, and they're not just things that are nagging for your attention. Because what will happen is you'll rapidly keep pushing to the side things that are important to you. You get to the end of the day and you look back and you'll have all this stuff done, but none of it will be meaningful for you. And you'll just have this sense of always being busy, but never really accomplishing much. And the 5 before 11 list is designed to cut through that busyness and get you to a sense of accomplishment. Now, the very last tip that I want to share with you is you don't want to walk in and make your 5 before 11 list in the morning. The example I just shared, I kind of shared it in that way, and that would be the wrong way to do it. And that's partly why when I first started out, I was getting a lot of urgent things on my list. The time to do your 5 before 11 list is at the end of the prior work day, or at the end of the day before you go to sleep. Think through, when you hit the office door the next morning, where do you really want to spend your time? Or if you're, a stay-at-home dad or mom, and what do I want to be doing at the front end of my day that's most important? And do it, write it the day before. It's really important you do that, because I find what happens is if I wait to write mine when I get in the office, I walk through the door and the next thing you know, the phone's ringing before I'm even done with my 5 before 11 list, or my secretary's coming in and she needs something from me, and the next thing you know, it's noon, I'm headed to lunch, and I don't even have 5 before 11 written down, let alone those 5 things accomplished. So get it on the list the day before, so that it is at the front of the line when you hit the door, and is going to get the priority of your time. So that's it. That it doesn't sound very complicated, but I find it takes a lot of work and practice to get truly high-valued tasks on your 5 before 11 list. But once you do, the difference you feel in the meaningfulness of your day and the amount of achievement you have around the things that really matter to you, it shifts pretty dramatically. So just to recap real quickly, you want your task to reflect your values, purpose, goals, or knock an unfinished task out of the way. You want to be sure that you focus on micro-action. It doesn't always have to be micro-action, but when you're starting out, that's where I'd focus my greatest time and attention. You don't want to get caught up in just simply going after urgent items, things that are weighing on you. Try to avoid that. And lastly, always make your list the day before so it gets ahead of everything else when you go into your day the next day. Now, I said at the beginning of this that I would mention where you can get some other resources and tools if you have not done a purpose statement, if you have not done a list of your highest values, or have written action steps for goals, have written goals and action steps, or don't have a list of your unfinished tasks. All of those things are in the front of the 7-Minute Life Daily Planner. If you don't have a 7-Minute Life Daily Planner, you can always go to the 7minutelife.com and simply click on Member Tools. Everything in there is free. There's a lot of other things in there beyond just your prioritized sheet and your purpose sheet and goal sheet, unfinished task sheet. A host of tools in there. Go check them out, download them, and start improving the meaning and productivity in your life right now. So there you have it. There's your tips for the day, and I hope that you have a week full of fantastic meaning and productivity.